Welcome everyone to Inside Your Screen. I am here with Brendan Horgan. Hello, Brendan. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Tony?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad, sir. We just had a chat with Mike with regards to Godzilla vs Kong. The new trailer has dropped, but Mike is notorious for not actually watching the trailers or films that he's about to see. I applaud him
Yeah, he
for his
doesn't.
convictions.
Yeah, Mike does not want spoilers when he watches movies, which is like again fair play.
It's fair play because these days trailers show everything. They basically show you the kind of plot by plot, blow by blow, pacing of the whole film. Um,
Can you name the last film, Tony, that you went in and watched blind with no trailer, no nothing?
wow. Do you know how far back this is probably going to go? The Matrix.
Wow.
And that blew my mind. And I hadn't seen the trailer. All I'd seen was the bus billboard. What is the Matrix? And I thought that sounds kind of cool. I went to cinema, and yeah, blew me away. And I went to the cinema about a week later and watched it again.
Last film I went in and watched blind was The Guard.
Oh,
The Brendan Gleeson
Brendan Gleeson
and
one.
Don Cheval? How do you?
Cheadle, isn't it?
Cheadle. That's it. Sorry,
Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
And that was another film that blew me away. The writing was fantastic. But we're here to watch Godzilla vs Kong, Brendan. So what we're going to do is going to watch the trailer. I may have to take the sound off at certain music segments because YouTube is notorious for pulling that. And yeah, we're just gonna see a few thoughts, see what we think.
Are you gonna pause this as we go through to stop it at like amazing moments, or are you just gonna let it flow?
We'll let it flow. Yeah. I've got to say that the actual CGI in this looks amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, this is basically one of those big blockbuster films. I mean, look at even those kind of like the sea. You can tell that's CGI, but it's done so well, like the foam.
And
there he is.
Kong. They've caught him.
The big boy.
Who's this?
See, I think she's going to be the MacGuffin of the piece.
Well, I've read the synopsis. Again, I didn't, on our last video, I didn't want to kind of go into details with Mike, but I've kind of read the movie synopsis, so I have a fair idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's obviously created a ET-like bond with Kong. Here he is.
Kablamzo.
Do you think they thought of that with the whole Kong touching fingers with the little girl, that people might go, E.T.?
Well, I think it kind of heralds back. There he is. Godzilla. The music coming up now. Yeah, I think that is a definite. I mean, that shot itself looks amazing. Wham in the face.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
And how he goes down into the water.
Charge.
I'll be honest, the only shot in this that I don't like is that one where Kong jumps off like some kind of 1990s action hero. We'll go back to it.
Yeah.
There is a lot to take in this trailer. Like, if you're just looking for the kind of spectacle, then obviously it shows that in buckets. There's some kind of online chat about the fact that Kong is kind of the same size as Godzilla. A lot of people don't like that. They think that Godzilla should be towering over Kong. What are your thoughts on that, Bren?
Well, to be fair, in the Kong movie, they reference the fact that in the Kong movie he's just a child. So obviously we've had the time jump. Kong's grown a bit, but I don't know. Again, Mike obviously was a huge fan of it and kind of spoke about in our first non-trailer spoiler pod about it, that in the original movie, you know, it was quite a close fight or whatever, but I always remember the kind of clips that I saw from the original movie that they were the same size.
Okay, that's interesting.
And I know that's based on just the movie. I know there's new comics and all that type of stuff, but I always kind of, in my mind, when I always thought of the concept of Kong versus Godzilla, kind of saw them about the same size.
Okay, well, I mean, the lore that goes into both Godzilla and Kong, I think if you try to do like a chronological order of things, you just get you get way too much into it, and things would start to unravel very quickly. But let's just break it down a little bit more. So, who is this girl? Do you think then, Brendan?
So I kind of know. So the synopsis is seen as, and I think anybody watching this, so we're not really talking about spoilers because we're talking about trailer, and the synopsis is there for everyone to read online. The concept is that they're actually bringing Kong back to his homeland. So Kong kind of lives on Skull Island, but he's obviously not from Skull Island. So there's kind of excavation to bring him back to his homeland because they want him to be where he's from and be where he should be. I'm not sure if they're going to go into a history of how he got to Skull Island. Well, maybe they do. But the concept is they're bringing Kong back to his homeland, and this girl, Kong has created a bond with in the jungle. I think the concept is she got lost in the jungle. Kong found her and they formed a bond. So she's the kind of, I think, obviously he's chained up, as we can see there. So concept is they're trying to bring her back to his homeland for whatever reason, which we don't know, which remains to be seen. Godzilla attacks the ship trying to transport Kong. So obviously Godzilla's been awoken possibly by Kong. But that is basically I don't know pretty much anything other than that. I don't know the story, but that's it. Trying to bring Kong back to his homeland, and for whatever reason, Godzilla attacks.
Well, yeah, I like this shot here as well, where you kind of see. I mean, is this Godzilla here? Is that his tail?
Yeah, that's Godzilla.
Okay. I've got a feeling that this trailer is going to be one of those misleading type of ones. Like you were saying that they're bringing Kong back to the island. And would this be their first encounter, do you think? Or do you think they've already had encounters? Or this will be the first one?
And the whole concept in the trailer, they show the Kong touching the handprint, which you're assuming was Kong's parents. I've got do you know what? Just because people are talking about the size, maybe, and would you scroll back to that screen, just the still of the tail out of the water? You said that does actually look pretty small. I've got a feeling
it looked to me like a kind of tentacle.
No, that's definitely a tail, and you can kind of see the spikes as well of this. I've got a feeling this might be baby Godzilla versus baby Kong.
It's an interesting one because where I paused it. Where did I pause it? Just there, 140 something. There's a blink and you'll miss it of this here. Do you think that could be Mechagodzilla in the background there?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a man-made beast, and look, it's got a weapon at the bottom as well.
That could be like memory system charge or something like that. So
it could possibly be the humans trying to wake up a Titan.
And there does appear, because later on, when Kong comes to, we're assuming this is below Skull Island.
Pause that there. That's why we know it's either Kong has grown, because that handprint, if Kong was young and was growing up, that's an adult handprint.
Well, there is a mention in the trailer that they're the last of their kind. So you could argue that, Godzilla is the last of his kind, Kong is the last of his kind. They've come back into the island, and maybe he's looking. I mean, those kind of scenes appear to be underneath Skull Island. So you could say that maybe he's seeing some ancestral.
Oh, 100%. And that's why, because you haven't seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, have you?
No.
So they really do go into the concept of this is a historical thing. It's almost like the concept of the Battle of the Titans is almost like the balancing of Earth.
Okay.
Every so many 100 years they awaken, and and it's almost like this. You get the feeling it's like a reset of the Earth. The Titans have been awoken because back to Eden. Mankind is ruining the Earth, so they've got to be taught a lesson. And the Battle of the Titans wipes out half the humanity. Everyone who survives lives on, and then 10,000 years later, Titans are awoken. Although they've been awoken quite a lot in the 2000s.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years. But it's interesting to see here as well. You have these like, flying, I don't know what you want to call these. I'm sure someone knows exactly what these creatures are in the kind of mythos of Kong or Skull Island. But to me, they look like kind of flying serpents. But that might be another kind of prelude to, another type of creature coming through. And I think we were discussing before with Mike, we were just giving some of our interpretations of what this film may be. I definitely 100% do think that Kong and Godzilla will team up for the big bad that will turn up, whether that's Mechagodzilla, who knows. But you have them, I mean, is this Tokyo sort of thing? It looks like they're fighting in Tokyo as well. Is this you got Millie Bobby Brown? She was in Godzilla, King of the Beasts.
Yeah, she was a really significant character, and her mother was a really significant character as well. So, do you want spoilers yourself, even though it's been out?
No, I'm gonna check it out before.
Okay,
before this comes out, I'm gonna check this out.
Definitely do, because it does. You can tell it explains a lot of the concept, and that's like, as I said in the previous pod, it's like that's what's really got me into this franchise. It's just the story is actually pretty good. It's not perfect. There's flaws to it. I'm sure many people will pick, but it's fun. It's just it's good.
It's big stupid fun. And here's the money
look
shot
at that.
here.
Look at
here's
that.
the money
That's
shot
amazing.
with the atomic breath. But let's have a quick look at what people have been saying on the Twitter sphere. This one was really interesting. So at 055, this is Mr. Shadow CX when Godzilla's spines are seen. That's his 2014 spines. And at 058, when he cuts through the ship, pause it. That's a World War II battleship, guys. That's a flashback and some good editing to the ocean fight. 2 different events.
Go on, let's have a look. Let's go to 55.
So he goes at 50, 58, 55.
This is fun.
Yeah, well, it's all conjecture at this point of time. So here, let's just play it from here first of all.
Was this the one where you said you thought the tail looked small? I did.
No, that kind of comes out. Oh, that was the ship he's referring to there.
Is it a World War II ship?
World War II ship?
I'm not an expert on ships, to be honest.
No. But then you could say, I mean, that does look a bit bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From there to where he goes through it. I mean, it does look bigger.
Well, if it's World War II, right, so that would suggest that it would be after Kong Skull Island, the movie.
You could argue as well that...
Because Kong Skull Island was set during... No, yeah, that was set during...
Vietnam War. Well, Vietnam, but like, wasn't Godzilla created by the radiation blast of like Hiroshima and stuff? So...
Yeah, so maybe that's a bit too early.
So you have from...
Well, no. That isn't the concept in this world. The concept in this world is, as far as I'm aware, is the world of the Titans. Godzilla's been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
So this is like...
The Titans were there before humans were. These were what roamed the earth, the Titans.
Marvel have their movieverse, DC have their, even Universal have their Dark Universe. This is the monster movieverse.
So in this monster movieverse, Godzilla does not come from
the atomic blast.
As far as I'm aware, no.
The Android 28 says...
That was it. Yeah. It was the atomic blasts during World War II that reawoke Godzilla.
That's it, yeah.
That's the concept. It kind of reawoke him.
The Android 28 says, I'm going to predict the twist in this movie. Mechagodzilla is disguising itself as Godzilla and trying to turn people against him. Thanks, government. Or Godzilla is under alien mind control.
I wouldn't put it past Godzilla being one of the, like, maybe all the other Titans have teamed up to use their powers and are kind of controlling Godzilla.
It does kind of look like that Kong has been made out to be the good guy in this, and that Godzilla is the kind of antagonist in terms of like the big creatures, especially with obviously the bond with the little girl who could be the last of her tribe from Skull Island. Maybe there's a bit of backstory there with Kong, like maybe there was like an event and he was unable to save her people and she's the last of her kind, and that's why they have a connection. Who knows? Let's just see one more. Oh, that was the point. Yeah, Mecha Godzilla sort of thing there as well. Just a lot of people basically saying that, yeah, they're
quite...
digging it. They're digging it. What about the other Titans? Yeah, will they be making an appearance? It's to be seen. It's to be seen, I guess.
I'll be disappointed. Mike made a good point that in the last movie, the big bad was kind of a team of the Titans, but they were kind of controlled or by this one big bad, okay, which is historically known in that universe. Again, Mike's the expert, I'm not, but as being the main protagonist and the big bad in the whole universe.
Yeah.
So hence why Mike was kind of hoping that, you know, there isn't a big bad Titan, which might push along to a man-made Titan or an attempt at a man-made Titan being the big bad. And yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
That's why it's a really intriguing. Like if that's how it goes, and Godzilla, it's just like, why has Godzilla just attacked Kong? We don't know. What's the story there? Would suggest that it's going to be quite an interesting story.
Well, I think
without a doubt. Sorry, without a doubt, like I said in the last pod, I just don't. Kong's not the big bad, Godzilla's not the big bad, and there's going to be I hope it's not too cheesy, but there's going to be a cheesy moment where they look at each other and are like, right, time to team up, buddy.
I want the chest bump. I want them to do the chest bump. Fist bump. Yeah. Gorilla ape and lizard thing, whatever Godzilla is really. Yeah, they're gonna do the exactly what you said. They're gonna have a longing look at each other. The dust will settle from the destroyed city, and they'll turn around, and there'll be this like climactic music crescendo, and then they're just going to wail on this kind of other antagonist or this other Titan or whatever it may be. But I think it's fair to say that this is going to be a big dumb movie. The special effects already look amazing. The Corridor Crew. I don't know if you've heard of the Corridor Crew, Brendan.
I haven't, no.
They are basically a team of special effects artists. They have their own YouTube channel. They are amazing. They break down the kind of CG in certain films. They discuss good CGI. They discuss bad CGI. What they've recently done is they've remade, spoiler alert if anyone who hasn't seen The Mandalorian second series, but there's a certain character that appears at the very end.
I haven't seen it, so don't.
That's fine. I'm not going to say anything. But what they've done is it's a CGI face basically, and they've kind of redone the CGI face, and they've made it look actually a lot better. So it just goes to show what they can do, their own skills. Check out their channel if you haven't already. I'll put the link in the description below. But Brendan, sign us out.
Before you check out their channel, check out our channel.
Well, that's what I was going to say as well.
Inside Your Screen.
You do the outro too well, so you go for it, sir.
You can find us on Twitter at Inside Your Screen with a UR, so it's Inside Your Screen, but search Inside Your Screen, you'll find us. We're on YouTube, just search Inside Your Screen, you'll find us. We've got loads of videos on there, movie reviews, podcasts, loads of game reviews, loads of horror independent game reviews. Tony's the specialist in that. If you just want to listen to the podcast, we've got some really cool reviews on there, movie reviews. You can find us on all your standard podcast outlets. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on SoundCloud, we're everywhere where you can find a podcast. Just search Inside Your Screen and it's all there.
That's great. Thank you, Brendan. And tomorrow we will be checking in with Snowpiercer. The second series starts in the UK on Netflix. Brendan and I followed the first series. We enjoyed it very much, and we're looking forward to see the Sean Bean